All right, going to the next topic. Was the 2000s era of rap the hardest for artists in that generation? Basically, Nelly had a little statement saying, like,
I saw a clip.
Yeah, I saw the clip. He basically said, my era of hip hop was the hardest one because basically you had to go against Eminem, DMX, Jay Z, Kanye West, Ludacris. You had to go against all those people on the radio, and it was hard for you to, I guess, maybe have a place. Mm-hmm. My thing is this. I get his argument. I think what it is what he's arguing is the wrong thing, or what he's stating is not, like you said, it's too simplified.
Yeah.
I think the difference between a generation like now versus a generation back then you was trying to chart to be number one. You was fighting to be number one. Nelly was going to be on the radio. Ludacris was going to be on the radio. DMX and all them, they was going to be on the radio. There was no problem for artists like them that were already established and had that core fan base and had all those hit records already behind them and had a big label like they used to do back then to push the record on them.
Right.
They had no problem getting on the radio. It's just if you wanted to fight for the number one spot, it was a lot harder because you had a lot of bigger names to fight against.
Facts.
Nowadays, I just think it's harder to just get recognized in general or just to make it and be an actual household name nowadays. It's harder to actually not be discovered, but to actually be a household name, like a Playboy Cardi, like a Lil Uzi Vert, like basically people from back then generations. There's not many names to faces that you could put in this day's generation.
See,
there's not superstars, basically.
Yeah, like I want to agree with you, but I don't think it's either. I don't know why he's saying it's harder. I just think it's just like it's a different. It's a different
era.
I don't even think it's harder here. I don't even think it's harder. I just think it's different times.
I think it depends on what battle you're trying to fight.
Like
if you're trying to be number one,
if he's trying to be number one,
who Nelly or
I think that's harder in any era, bro. It wasn't easy to be the number one rapper, the number one artist. Mm-hmm. I just think it's just different. Like technology's different. Like now we can put out more music. We don't need a label. We don't need radio play to get money. We can go on tour. We got Spotify. We don't need an A&R. Mm-hmm. Only thing I feel like we are lacking in this era, I feel like they have more development probably. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I don't know, bro. I think it's just eras. I think it's hard to be number one in any era. I don't think you compare it.
I think back then it was hard. I think it was especially hard. I can see where Nelly was saying, like, basically he had the pressure put on him because you had to go against Eminem. He's arguably Jay-Z, the biggest rapper. I mean, all the rappers he was listing was arguably some of the biggest rappers in the game. Like, top 50 rappers of all time, basically. Yeah. Like, you had to go against them. So I get where he's coming at with that.
Yeah.
I just think it's a different battle because nowadays these artists aren't fighting for number one. They're just fighting to get a spot and get a whole bunch of monthly listeners and get a cult fan base.
Because you got to think about it. We have our top three. Like, we have Drake. We got Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick. And Drake is like, bro, he's huge. Mm-hmm. I think, I don't know, is Drake compared to Eminem, who's a bigger artist? Like, Eminem at his height and Drake at his height.
Eminem.
Who was bigger?
I think Eminem.
Like now?
Wait, Eminem now?
I'm talking about Eminem at his height and Drake at his height. Who was bigger?
I think Eminem. I fully think Eminem.
I think Drake.
Because I think by the time Drake came, physicals and all that was slowly dying. So it was kind of harder to like measure that, and especially.
Oh, you trying to measure for sales?
I mean, you said bigger, right?
Yeah, I'm saying about bigger.
I mean, the best way to measure that, I feel, it would be sales because we can't really measure streams because streaming really wasn't a thing like that back then. Versus someone like Drake, he leaked often back then. And I think when it comes to height, I think Eminem, because it was less competition out, I think he was higher up. Because it was less competition.
I might do some research.
And the competition he had was high up as well.
Because, I don't know. I'm thinking Drake, man. Only because Drake is more accessible to everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody. Mm-hmm. I know Eminem has core fans with like a lot of, I'm like, he had black fans, but I know he had a lot of white fans. Mm-hmm. But like Drake is like everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, I don't know, bro. I think Drake, bro.
I think Eminem.
I think Drake.
You know I don't like Eminem.
We might have to do a battle. I like Eminem, you know what I'm saying? But I think Drake, bro, because even if you want to do sales, like look at who you think who you think got more sales? Rihanna or Beyonce?
I kind of want to go with Rihanna.
You'll be right, but who you think a bigger artist?
Oh, Beyonce. Yeah, Beyonce.
That's what you want to say. But Rihanna has more sales.
I would say.
Want to know why?
Why?
Because she's more accessible to everybody.
But also, I don't want to say I'm about to say that.
Drake is pop.
To me,
Eminem never went pop.
She related to the white fan, but she related to white people.
And earlier,
pop. Earlier, the Shut Up and Drive.
But
and all that.
Think about Drake. He's the same thing. He's pop too.
But I also think white people cleaned on the Eminem.
Yeah, because they could relate to him, but.
He was white in a
but you got also
black dominated space.
Yeah, but he also has a border with him. You know what I'm saying? Drake is like, he's black and white, and he's Jewish, and he relates to the black people,
The biracial people?
bro. All that. That's what I'm saying. I think Drake is like,
I
and
think
Drake went
is more
pop,
relatable.
and Drake pop.
I will agree with that.
But I'm saying that's why I think Drake is bigger, bro. I think at Drake's height, at Eminem height, I think Drake is higher, bro. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Where would we put Drake's height at?
At height of his career? Like, I don't know when he drops, bro. Drake is still huge. Look how long Drake's been hot. Eminem didn't have a run like Drake.
2009.
Eminem didn't have a run like Drake.
In terms of like putting out albums consistently?
I'm talking about being the number one person. Drake had probably the longest run.
But I also think there was not many people on Drake level. I hate to say it like this, we simplified it kind of when we said Drake, Cole, Kendrick. There's only like 3 people.
I said the top 3
because but I'm saying when it comes to Eminem's era, we have a lot more juggernauts than
like who?
Jay.
Yeah.
Nas.
He wasn't a juggernaut.
Huh?
He's not a juggernaut.
Well, not in terms of sales.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because J. Cole
Nelly,
gonna sell. Nelly
Ludacris,
has some sales, but like, bro, if
T.I. back then,
no,
50
Cent. 50 Cent was big.
Okay, 50
Kanye
Cent.
West. See, you're not naming these guys. These are the guys.
But also I feel like
Nelly had those. Nelly had his hits. Yeah, like he had the Nellyville. He had that 2 album, whatever, that country stuff. Yeah. But I'm saying, bro, when you think of Drake, Kendrick, Nas, these are like. No, I said Drake, Kendrick, Nas. Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. These are lyrical rappers. They both can. Drake can be lyrical, but he also appeal to pop. So when I say that top 3, when I'm thinking Jay-Z, Eminem, you go DMX, huge. DMX was huge, bro. Them guys were like, Ludacris? Come on, bro, chill. You put Ludacris over there, you got chill.
He was a juggernaut.
No, he wasn't, bro. Nah, on the radio, that ain't nothing, bro.
If you're talking about actual talent and ability.
But I'm talking about Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole, bro. Them, they are like, come on, bro. Ludacris don't compare, bro. Come on, bro.
Luda, I love you. Obviously, you don't. I thought we was talking about popularity.
Nah, bro. And even if you do popularity, his popularity don't compare to J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick's. Think about it. Think of Ludacris hype and Kendrick hype. Have Luda ever ran anything? Like, have we ever like, yo, Luda, best? Never.
He has bigger songs than J. Cole, though. He don't have bigger songs than J. Cole?
What did that mean?
But I'm saying, like, his name was out there a lot more back then. Like, you could,
J. Cole was in freaking in high school.
Associate songs with
Move, get out the way,
stand up, roll out.
That's when radio was dominant. But I'm saying, but if you go, bro, we gonna have to really do some research on this stuff because this is really good. This is really good. We got to come back to this. This is really good. I think this is.
I don't think he was a dominant artist in terms of like, oh, rapper. People are just hyped for a new Ludacris album. I just think I'm talking about the rapper and what they're putting out, just in general, not just albums.
Before we leave this, I want you to go look at Ludacris sales.
Oh, F.
And I just was because you think it's a big radio song, but you gotta understand, bro. You gotta understand it's like a sector, bro. You gotta have Luda ever went diamond?
Probably.
Like album wise, because I know Nelly, right? Outkast.
Didn't Outkast just recently go like?
Nah, they went diamond with Love Below and You looking?
It's hard to look it up right now.
Just look at Ludacris sales this period. Just look up his overall sales. How many albums have Luda sold?
Okay,
records?
It says Ludacris sold over 14,560,000
overall
albums, including 14 million in the U.S., 260,000.
Yeah. Look at J. Cole's.
The best-selling album by Ludacris is Word of Mouth, which sold over 4,200,000 copies.
Now look at J. Cole's. I know it's different, it's streaming, blah blah blah, but like J. Cole actually came out with his first single in 2012. You had like Workout. You had
All right.
What's his
J. Cole sold over 9 million. 67,500 albums, including 8 million in the U.S. and 800,000 in the United Kingdom. The best-selling album by J. Cole's 2014 Forest Hills Drive was sold over 3,450,000.
Okay, so overall,
3,450,000.
So overall, Luda sold more than him, and J. Cole sold.
I get why in that era though, because the physical era. That was a way more physical era.
I knew it was gonna be different. That's what I'm saying. This is my point. Who you think, as a career, has a bigger, who's a bigger artist?
J. Cole.
This is what I'm trying to say, like with Nelly and them. Like, yes, they had some hits, but like when you think of when you go back and be like, man, who was them big wigs? Nelly, come on, bro. He's a radio guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Ja Rule. Like Ja Rule
Well,
had
no,
some
he
cool
wasn't.
stuff.
He wasn't complaining about being the number one rapper. He was complaining about just
was
being
hard to
number
be
one
on
in
the
terms
radio?
of just being number one, like whether it be like in sales or like number one like hit that you had on the billboards and things like
Because
that.
it
I
meant
think that's where he was more going.
But
He didn't specify.
No, I'm saying I don't know why he's saying harder because I feel like I said, it's eras. Like, bro, it meant more to be a number one freaking artist, a radio number one selling in that time.
Mm-hmm.
Now that don't mean anything. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, look how much J. Cole sold, even though it's a different era, and look what Ludacris sold. 14, like putting Ludacris sales in this era, Ludacris would be like, dang, he sell a lot. It'd be different. Him selling 14 million in this era is insane. But you take him back in that era, and we know who Luda is, but you put J. Cole, who J. Cole is in that era, how many albums do you think he'll sell?
Who, J. Cole?
Yeah, in like a non-streaming era. I think it'll be way bigger.
I think it'd be less.
Why? Why so?
Because streaming has made music devalued and it's cheaper to access this music.
I'm saying J. Cole as a J. Cole in that type of era, he will sell more. I'm talking about his status. Not, you know what I'm saying? Because no, streaming don't exist in this era. The Luda era.
You think J. Cole music would really hit like it would back then?
Yeah.
Before the blog era?
So, if you think in radio hits, right?
I think the radio, like, we saw kind of what happened with that, with J. Cole, with the Sideline Story, his debut album. Yeah. It didn't do that well.
But I'm saying he didn't have
hits on there.
Yeah, but I'm saying
he was aiming for those hits.
I know, but you got to think about it. If you in that era and these hits still hit the same, but in that era they'll sell more.
I think he would be labeled in that backpack rap if he was in the Bling era.
But no, I'm saying this is J. Cole.
I don't think he would have the same status as he would now.
So you putting it on? I'm telling you, okay, this J. Cole we putting.
Like
here.
if I move J. Cole,
you're thinking, oh, this J. Cole don't fit here. But I'm saying, okay, we put J. Cole in this era. He's J. Cole. He impacted us the same way, and he become big like he is in this era.
Okay, so
that's what
big.
I'm saying.
You're saying that
he's J. Cole. No, look, this is what I'm saying. Okay, J. Cole's J. Cole, right? In this era, but we put him in that era. But people and fans have the same love for him. In that era, you think, will he sell more than Ludacris would?
I think still no.
I think he will.
I think no, because the sales that we have now, like I said, I feel like it's a lot more easier for artists to have sales now, and his sales are high as it is. I'm not saying he's a bad rapper.
But I'm not saying Luda sold more than him, right?
Yes, but I think Luda was a lot more accessible because he was on the radio. And also back then, you gotta think, people that was buying music, because I'm putting the streaming element in terms of sales. People were buying Ludacris albums. Yeah. They was going out to go buy a Ludacris album. People nowadays don't buy a J. Cole album. Is it available now? Yes. Yeah. People still don't do it.
But you understand my point?
What
I'm saying, if we put J. Cole in that era, right? And people love him like they love him now. And you saying that
these album sales translate just like the album sales from
I say it'll be more. I'm saying 9 million here.
No, I'm asking you.
It's like inflation, B.
Okay, so now I get where you're going.
You get what I'm saying?
Now I get where you're going. You're getting the conversion of the albums and the actual rate. Like, if we were to move J. Cole's sales from back then, from now to back then, they'd be higher.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, I completely get where you're going.
I
thought you were saying that if we move his sales now, we keep them the same and we move them here. I'm like, no, he'd be less because we got a lot of streaming in the.
Nah, it'd be different. No. Dang, my hair. I'm like, why he doing this?
Okay, now I get it. As soon as you said inflation, I'm like, okay, I get it.
Because like back then it's bigger. Yeah, it's bigger.
I completely get your point now. We was there, but we wasn't all there.
Yeah. It's like
I didn't get it because I'm like, what? I'm like, he'd sell less. I'm like, because people don't have streaming now back then. I was so confused. I was like, where are we going with
this? Bro, my head hurts. My head started hurting me. I'm like, you don't understand me, bro. Come on. I'm like, I'm trying to simple. But then I had like inflation. Just think about it in that way.
Yeah, that was perfect right there. Because now I get where I was like, we must be arguing two different things right now.
We always do that, bro. When we get it.
We had to find that middle point, B.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious, man. But overall, 2000s and now era, we all come. Yeah. They all come with their own challenges and difficulties. The goal for back then, the 2000s era, was way different compared to the goals now.
And I know your point is more. It's an oversaturation now, pretty much.
It's that, and plus there aren't big name artists like there are back then. So no one's really like, oh, I'm aiming for number one. I'm trying to aim for the best-selling album or the best-selling record. No one's aiming for that right now. They're just trying to aim to actually still be relevant after a year or two.
I think from this part of this discussion, I think we should like kind of go back into those times and like compare artists. Like we could be like, okay, let's go top 10 sales, top 10 sales. Not now. We could do it later because that could be a whole video. Because like then we kind of can correlate like, okay, how would this person fit here? How would they fit there? You get what I'm saying? Like, who is this generation's this?
Oh,
you get what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're saying.
I think we should do a video.
We should do a comparison.
Yeah, we should do a comparison. I think that'll be a good one.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good video.
Right, we'll note that down.
It'll kind of put it in perspective. Like, what era kind of was, like, what do these artists value and what did these artists value? And, like, if we reverse them.
We can actually look at some of the music they was putting out for each of them.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
I think that'd be good.
But yeah, that was a pretty good conversation.
Yeah, it was. Nelly, you started something right there. Got my head hurting. It's coming down now. It's coming down.
Would you consider Nelly a legendary artist?
Nelly a legend, bro.
Okay.
Tip drill off alone. I remember staying up late watching that on
Air Force Ones, B.
Hey, but we was bumping the Air Force One before the song came out. But Nelly, you got some pull in the culture, the Band-Aid. You know what I'm saying? Getting hot in her.
The bandana,
because he has the freaking like Luda. They got legendary cultural songs like over. Like, come on, bro. They made songs that will live on forever. So
they will never go.
They throw parties. They throw parties based off their music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the early 2000s or what they call it, millennial.
Yeah, bro. They make come on, bro.
Tour. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let's go to the next conversation, and now we're gonna slow.